Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new then welcome. My name's Christina and on my channel we talk all things beauty from my own experiences. So before you go, make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave any comments that you have for me down below. I have my brown top on with my purple eyeshadow to complement all of the brown glossy lips that we're going to be talking about today. It seems very fitting to be talking about brown glossy lips with fall coming. It's getting a little bit cooler in the mornings where I'm at, and it's getting me really excited for the colder months. So I thought I would share with you guys all of my must-have brown glossy products here. We do have drugstore as well as high-end products, and I am going to be splitting it up into those two categories for you guys today. So if you want to know some of my picks when it comes to brown glossy lip products, then let's get started. If you guys are curious about my eyeshadow, I am using this Merit Solo Shadow in this shade Social. It's this one right here, and in the container it kind of looks like a neutral shade, but once you actually swatch it onto the eyes, it's like this muted purple tone. It's so beautiful and complimentary on the skin. I did apply it with this number 2 brush. I just like buffed it in with that, and then I used this side to kind of just draw it under my eyes, and it's perfect. I love this so much. Merit actually sent this to me, but I do already own Mid-Century, the brown shade, and I've talked about that one, and I thought that it would look really pretty with all of the brown going on the face. Let me know what you guys think about it. I think so far, even with just this lip product, it's really cute, very fall, and a little cool tone, so it's a little different from what I normally do. Firstly, we have the Milani Fruit Fetish lip oil in the shade Cocoa Cacao. This one is going to be the more brown shade of the 4 new like neutral shades that they came out with recently. This one has a slight hint of like reddish to it, but it's definitely through and through a very brown glossy lip color. It is quite scented though. I will say that it smells just like coconut and chocolate. So if you're not a big fan of scents within your lip products, maybe stray away from this one. Don't worry. We have a lot of other options for you coming up. This does kind of hold that scent for quite a while, and if you get it in your mouth, it does taste a bit sweet. I could probably do without it, but honestly, this shade is so pretty. I couldn't pass up including this in the video because it is a more affordable option. I know a lot of people really like this formulation as well. It feels nice and glossy. It's a good mix between an oil and a lip gloss in my opinion. Next is this butter gloss from NYX. This is in the shade Caramelt, and as you can see, it is a very warm caramelly brown shade. It really suits my skin in the sense that it brings a little bit of deepness to it, but it still looks very natural and neutral on my skin tone. I love this formulation. Butter glosses, as most of you guys know and have probably experienced, they feel really nice and slick. They give you a lot of opacity. It's probably one of my favorite NYX products when it comes to lip products. The butter glosses have no added fragrance either. Along with NYX's lip liners, I would say that the butter glosses are definitely a staple. I think that there's so many different options. These specifically remind me a lot of the Merit Shade Slicks in the formulation. Even the applicators are very similar. So if you like the Merit Shade Slicks, I think the butter glosses are definitely worth picking up. This shade in particular, I don't get enough wear out of, to be honest. It's kind of been tucked away in my drawer for quite a while, and it's time for me to take it out and start wearing it and enjoying it. I could definitely see myself wearing it alone as it is like this, or pairing it with a deeper lip liner if I want something a little bit more punchy, I guess. Another great option, this is Morphe's Dripglass Drenched version in the shade Drip Coffee. This one I would say is similar to Caramel, except I would say it is the cooler counterpart to that one. And from what I can tell, there's no scent on this one. This one definitely is more of a cooler undertone, but it is kind of the same type of brown. It's kind of like that mid-tone brown. I think this would actually suit a lot of skin tones, and this formula in particular is really beautiful. I know a lot of people haven't really talked about these Morphe glosses before. I have a full swatch video on like the entire collection, I think, and I was blown away with this formulation. It feels very much like a melted down lip balm, and dare I say, it is quite similar to the Tower 28 Milky Lip Jellies. Those are some of my favorite glosses. These, as you can see, are pretty much fully opaque. They do have more of a sheer version, but the drenched versions are the ones that are full opacity. Next up, we're going a little bit more on the nude brown shade of things. So this right here is Revlon's Super Lustrous in the shade Sparkling Honey. I'm very confused by these because I'm not quite sure if they're being discontinued. I know that they've been pulled from like physical shelves, but I still see them, and I actually purchased mine off of Walmart's app and it's still there. They're still up there, and I don't know if they're coming down anytime soon. But regardless of that, this one is a beautiful option, especially if you want more of a nude brown versus a very bold, like medium to deep tone brown. This one I think has a lot of versatility to it. This is a fragrance-free lip product. I'm pretty sure that this one is going to be the most sheer option of the drugstore picks that I have here. If you're not used to doing like brown shades, I definitely think because this is more of a nude brown as well as a little bit more sheer, it's a lot more approachable. Sometimes when it comes to more of those glossy lipsticks, like the glossy balm sticks, they can be quite melty and they can get a little bit messy, but I don't seem to have that issue with this one. It holds its shape fairly well, but it still gives you a lot of shine. I don't really find that it actually hydrates my lips from the inside out, so for me, I like to use this just as a lip color. Another NYX Butter Gloss, and again, this one is going to be more on the nude brown side of things. This is in the shade Fudge Me. It's a very cool brown tone, kind of like a milky chocolate brown. I really adore this one. I think it's super lovely, especially when my skin tone tends to be a little bit more pale throughout the winter months. I think that this is super flattering, and I love to wear this alone, but sometimes I'll pair it with a lip liner, but oftentimes I just kind of throw it on as is. It's just such an easy shade to wear. It goes with pretty much any eye look as well as any cheek color. It's just perfection. If I don't know what to wear, but I know I want to wear something more on the brown side, I pull this one out and it never misses. We have the Peripera Ink Mood Glowy Tint in the shade number 11, which is named Brown Heaven, and I am on a personal mission to get everybody to try this lip product out. It's an exact dupe of the Rare Beauty lip oils. They are the same ingredients. If you compare them ingredient to ingredient, they're exactly the same, and this one is at a fraction of the cost. I believe this is around $7 or so on YesStyle. If you have a local seller of like K-Beauty, then you can usually find these products there because they're super popular. This shade on me is like my dream type of everyday brown nude shade. I easily reach for this the most out of like all of these. When you first put it on, the shade is a lot lighter, and as you swipe it onto your lips, it kind of transforms into this shade that we end up with. It's like a rosy brown shade. This also doesn't have any fragrance, which is really nice. I really love the shine that this gives, and after the gloss kind of wears away, you are left with a really beautiful stain. It looks exactly as it does here, except not glossy, and it lasts for hours. I think it's great. And lastly, in the more affordable options, we have this one from Maybelline. This is the Vinyl Superstay ink in the shade Punchy, and this one is described as a warm teddy brown. I don't really know what a teddy brown is, but I would say that this one is more of a nude brown as well. I think that this is a really nice like going out type of look. Like if I want to do full face and I want something that's going to last all day. If you're not familiar with this formulation, the vinyl inks from Maybelline are going to be their long wearing glossy lip products. Now the gloss isn't necessarily the long wearing portion of it, it is the lip color. I like to work in sections when I apply this, and you don't press your lips together, so whenever you use this, just apply it and then let it it completely dry before going about your day, and I find that I get very minimal transfer, and if anything, I only really have transfer in the center of my mouth because that just is where your lips tend to be more moist. This is my favorite shade of all of the vinyl inks, and this is the one that I typically go towards if I want to wear one of those. From what I've seen, I haven't been able to get this super glossy where it's like drippy like some people have been able to do. I don't know what it is. I can't achieve that look. Maybe let me try applying more. It just seems to get more and more opaque, and then the gloss kind of stays as glossy as it is here. So I don't know, it's still definitely a really good glossy option, but it's not going to be drippy. Now we are heading into our high-end products. These are ones that you can find typically at Sephora and at Ulta, and they're slightly a higher price point, but definitely still worth it in my opinion. And the first one is just this little baby one. It's Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm in the shade Brown Sugar. These do come in larger sizes. However, I chose to include this one because I've talked about the shade Vanilla Beige on and on in other videos. I definitely still think that that one is a great brown option. If you want something deeper than the ones I've talked about already, this can be the one for you. It's a beautiful like dark chocolate reddish tone, and it comes in a lip balm form, which is even better. These from Summer Fridays are some of my favorite lip balms. They're so hydrating. I love how thick they are and how they feel really nourishing on the lips, and they actually leave my lips feeling really hydrated. And this has a really impressive pigmentation when it comes to a lip balm. You can kind of sheer it out if you don't want to wear it as intensely as I have it here. That's definitely an option. That's pretty much an option with all of these, honestly, but more so with the lip balms. And this just feels good. It feels nice to put on. It's a really enjoyable experience to wear this, and I highly recommend really any of the lip butter balms from Summer Fridays, but this one specifically has been my new go-to. This new Saie formulation, this is the Glossybounce in the shade Push, and these have to be some of my absolute favorite lip gloss oils there are. I mean, they feel plushy on the lips, and this shade is the most perfect milk chocolate brown I have ever seen. It is like a true cool milk chocolate. It looks stunning on everybody that I've seen it on, and the formulation of these and the textures of these are again just so enjoyable for me. It feels like truly a melted down lip balm as well as a lip oil all wrapped into one. It's so hard to describe, but these feel incredible, and these actually leave my lips feeling hydrated after they wear off. Like I said, it's definitely a true brown, but there's something about it that just makes it extra special. And every time I put this on, it kind of like takes my breath away because of how beautiful it is. I would say that this is a medium opacity because you can definitely still kind of see your lips through it, but of course, as you can see, there is a lot of pigmentation in that color. These look really great with like a full face of makeup, and they also look really lovely when I don't have any makeup on. It just makes me feel and look more put together. Okay, so I'm realizing now that I totally forgot to add if any of these had scents as I was talking about them. So let me go over that really quickly so you guys have that information. Saie Glossybounce has no scent from what I can tell, and the Summer Fridays smells kind of like a warm sugar. Definitely has a scent. It's very sweet, kind of like cupcakes and a warm sugar scent. Of course, I can't leave out Tower 28 ShineOn Milky Lip Jelly. This is in the shade Almond. Cashew is also a really beautiful one, but Almond really has kind of been like my go-to when I think of more of a brown shade. And this one, I would say teeters between a nudie brown and like a true brown. I would say it's like light medium brown tone. These are also some of my go-to lip glosses. I love how plushy this feels on the lips. It feels nice and hydrating, and it just dispenses a ton of pigmentation within the formulation. You really don't need a lot of this. A little wash of it goes a very long way. You get a lot of pigmentation. I've worn these plenty of times with a lip liner, a lipstick, anything like that, and you can still see it through if I do a really thin layer of this. This was one of my very first more brown toned lip glosses, and I fell in love. I think that it just looks so complimentary on the skin no matter the time of year. I think it looks great whenever I'm more pale, and I think it looks really nice during the summertime as well. These are just a joy to put on. They're comfy, they're plushy. Everyone that I've recommended these to has loved them. They are truly some of the best out there. Another deeper, slightly more sheer option for you is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Balm in the shade Hot Chocolate Heat. This one is the plumping formulation, so you do feel a little bit of spiciness, but honestly, it's not too bad. The tingly feeling, it doesn't last too long, and it doesn't really hinder me from wearing it. I love how it's slightly deeper, and it has a little bit of a purple tone to it, so I think it looks really complimentary with a lot of different eye makeup looks, as well as just like makeup looks in general. Whenever this came out, I knew immediately that I had to have it because I loved how you could wear it just super sheer, just for like a slight wash of color, or you could really build it up to get that really nice deep brown shade. So the next few products are going to be more of the lipstick format, starting with this one. This is Glossier's Ultra Lip in the shade Drenched. Now the Ultra Lips are definitely my favorite type of lip product from Glossier. I think that they're so easy to wear, and I love how much shine they give the lips. They go on basically like a lip balm. I wouldn't say that this leaves my lips more hydrated, but it doesn't dry my lips out, which is really nice. This one in the shade Drenched is described as a toffee brown. I feel like it's just such an easy brown to wear because it definitely does lean more towards like a neutral pinky brown tone. So I think that if you're not completely comfortable going full on brown, again, this one would be a really good option for you. And because it is in this format, it's just so easy to just pull out of your purse, really quickly apply it, and then be good to go. Now this formulation doesn't necessarily say that it's a glossy lip product. It is a satin, and this is from Kulfi. These are the brand new Heirloom satin lipsticks, and this shade is in the shade Khadi Kiss. It's more of, again, a neutral brown shade, kind of like a nudie brown. So I think this one is very approachable for a lot of people kind of, you know, entering that world of brown tones. This is such a nice like nude to wear without any sort of lip liner. This is probably as light as I would go with just wearing this lipstick without any sort of lip liner. Anything lighter, I would probably feel the need to use a lip liner with. So this line of lipsticks are actually nudes and neutrals that are supposed to be suitable for those with brown in their skin tones. I mean, when it comes to nude shades, it is kind of hard to find ones that you can go to without having to like fuss and customize it with different lip liners and lip glosses and all of those things. These you could just swipe on and go, and they're truly some of the best nudes made for brown skin tones. They aren't as glossy as the other options that I talked about, but they definitely do have quite a bit of shine there. And if you want a deeper toned option, this one in the shade Mauve Misra is really nice as well. It's kind of like a mauvey brown tone, but still a really beautiful option. And I think this would be so wearable for so many different skin tones. And lastly, we have the Rare Beauty Lip Oil in the shade Honesty. This one is my most favorite from the Rare Beauty lip oils. I love this rosy brown tone. And again, like I said, it is going to be more of that lip gloss stain. I wouldn't necessarily consider this an oil. I definitely think it's a glossy stain. So it starts off very shiny. As you can see, it has a lot of nice juicy shine. And then as the day progresses and the shine fades, you are left with a really beautiful stain. It essentially looks just like this, but not glossy. I don't notice any like plumping effects, but I do really enjoy the minty feel to it, and it's not too aggressive either. If you want something that you can put on and just not fuss with throughout the day, and if you're okay with it going from a gloss to a stain, I don't typically really have an issue with it. I still think that the stain is really beautiful, and it stains quite quickly as well. You don't necessarily have to wear this glossy. You could easily just like let it it sit for a minute or two and then blot it away and just wear it as a stain if you wanted. But personally, I really like the glossy look of it to begin with. All right, guys, those were all of my picks for brown glossy lips. I hope that you enjoyed it. Maybe we have some of the same favorites. Let me know in the comments down below if we share some favorites, and also let me know if you found any that you are thinking you want to pick up now. I will leave some swatches of all of the shades here for you so you can kind of see them in comparison to each other. But other than that, I think that is everything. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful, and if you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!